What's up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. I just want to send you a little video as I go for a walk in the rain here. This will be a few minutes, but before I get into it, I want to say a quick word to all my students that are struggling in this class. Don't give up, and in fact, email me. Message me, so we can work together and figure out a plan for your success. Missing a lot of assignments? Don't worry, it's not too late, so you can still catch up. We can work together. If you're feeling too overwhelmed, if the reading's kind of crazy getting into that, if the movies, everything else, life gets in the way, there's all kinds of things. But don't struggle alone. Message me. Remember, we just finished a whole section on alienation. We don't want to be alienated in this class, so please message me so I can work with you. Now, what am I doing here? What is this place behind me? Well, I'm here at Buckfast Abbey. It's a working monastery not too far from where I live. It's a Benedictine, which is a very medieval order. This is the best example of what we're dealing with in this class this week, medievalism. Medievalism is not the real medieval past, but it's a reconstructed medieval past. In a lot of ways, this place is the epitome of that. If you see behind me, the building with the beautiful big building here is actually quite new. It's built in the style of a medieval church, but it was actually built in the early 1900s. By the monks themselves. It's a really beautiful example of architecture that's been redone in the medieval style. In fact, the order themselves follow very medieval rules, but it's been recreated in the 20th century, and it's still around and being active in the 21st century. The building next to it, the one that's very gray, this building is more of the original medieval building. This is what it was like in the 14th and 1500s, and some of the oldest parts are still visible in that building. The oldest building around here is this medieval house right here that you can see, and also the gate. The gatehouse is probably one of the oldest parts remaining, truly medieval parts of this building. Now, you wouldn't know that if you're walking around here. What you would see is buildings that are all connected, that look medieval, and intertwined with the real medieval and the reconstructed medieval. And that's a really good example of what we're doing in our class this week. Now, we're doing it through the gaze of film, but also through the idea of identity and different values, where we sort of look at the real medieval values and we repackage them in a 21st century sort of package and idea. So that's what we're looking at with this week. And I think you'll like it, and you'll see that really shine through with our movie, which is really a sports movie repackaged in sort of a medieval setting. Okay, so that's something to think about when you watch it. In a lot of ways, I mentioned it before, but it's a lot like Star Wars, a lot of other genres of movies that are actually medieval repackaged themes in movies that you're very familiar with. So how's that going with everything else in this class? We went through a pretty interesting, I loved reading the discussions, by the way, of our movie last week, Harold and Maude, because you either loved it or hate it. Happens every term and every semester, and I think there's some amazing discussion there, and really huge connection of understanding alienation, perhaps better than most recent decades, because of they're going through COVID. We don't talk about it much, but that was still a big factor and has left a lot of people feeling alienated and isolated in different ways, and we're still feeling repercussions of that. So, being able to discuss that is huge, and finding ways to break through that. Some people have talked about, the importance of having sort of a mod in your life in some ways, and more of sort of what someone like that, having someone break through those feelings of isolation and breaking out of that alienation. So I encourage you, if you're feeling that way, to reach out to me or and some services at the college, and most importantly, finding what you need to sort of break out of those feelings of just being isolated, and there's ways to break through that and talk about it. So this was a good place to do that in that class and that discussion. I really enjoyed seeing what a lot of people said. Now, we're going to finish out this class strong. Medievalism, you have a discussion due on Friday, and then you have the movie discussion on Monday. And then be sure to comment after that. A lot of people are missing the comments, and I always try to grade on the following Thursday. So if you can actually get any comments done by then, so by Wednesday, don't worry about trying to do it over the weekend if you're struggling, but if you do it by then, that'll give me time to make sure to grade, have everything you need. So don't feel like you have to rush anything. Always email me if you have problems with any of the due dates or things are coming up, and we can work together. Keep this class fun and entertaining and moving forward. And then after that, we have our last movie, which is your own choice. We're going into 21st century film. We're going to be looking at a lot of different themes, and it's going to be a lot of fun to finish out our class. So, great job. I just want to send you a little video of encouragement and help push those who are a little bit behind to come up and work with me so we can rock this class. Those that are doing all this work, I'm so proud of all the work you're doing. It's been really fun today, grading all your work and seeing, just your own views shining through what you're learning. It's the privilege to do that in this class. I love it. All right, enjoy yourselves, and back on my walk, and this beautiful Buckfast Abbey. Take care, everybody.